Hey, how you doing? This is kind of humbling. It's take two. I keep forgetting to turn up the microphone. Alright, so I've been going along trying to get healthy and change my attitude, be more buoyant, kind of feel better. So, and the key to that is exercise. For me, that's what it is, exercise and exposing myself to humor, which is comedy. I've been checking out podcasts. That's how I've been doing that. Because, I have to do something, right? I have to, even though I feel like there's lots of sellouts in the entertainment industry, I still need my some amount of entertainment, and humor. I need to be exposed to humor. So that's what I've been doing. Listening to podcasts. I've been listening to Adam Carolla and Joe Rogan and Norm MacDonald. Norm MacDonald's one of my favorite comedians. I like him. He's not political at all. Even though he's done the fake news on Saturday Night Live, he doesn't pay attention to the news. So he can't really get caught up in opinionated stuff. So that's good. But Adam Carolla is very opinionated. So I don't necessarily agree with everything he says. And the same with Joe Rogan. And, these people, when it comes down to it, they, if they want to have a career, then they really need to toe the line as far as 9/11 and all those things. They can't buy into conspiracy theories, even if they feel that it's right. And I know that, so I just have to bite the bullet. And when they start talking about terrorism and stuff like that, they usually try to talk around it and just talk about the TSA or whatever, because 9/11 is not funny anyway. It's not something you want to talk about. And in an entertaining way. So, but the TSA is hilarious, so you always get fun with that. But anyways, those are the two things I'm doing to stay positive. Is exercise and listen to these podcasts. I like to do them both at the same time. Because, it takes me a long time to work out, and I don't like to, come over to the computer and flick through videos, and you don't have time for that. You're trying to get a workout done. You can't cool off, so I have to just stick to one thing. So a big long podcast is kind of fills the bill. But anyways, what I've noticed with these podcasts is all these three guys, think what you want about them. They've all thrown out the same idea that I find very disturbing. And the idea is that with all this surveillance that we have, I'm going to pretend I'm them. We have all this surveillance already. Why don't we just go ahead and put a chip in everybody, and everybody will be an open book, and nobody will be able to do anything wrong. And we're already getting surveilled anyway. They already know everything you're doing basically. So why not just go all in and do it that way? And on the one hand, that makes sense. It does, because they do. The government, virtually know everything you're doing, depending on how you do it. But the trick is, the problem people aren't really the little guy, you know. The government says it's the little guy, you know. The little guy wants to do terrorism, he wants to shoot up a school or whatever. You know, any damage one little guy can do pales. It's just not even close to the damage that the people who run our government do all day, every day, all around the world. It's just not. It's not even limited to us. You know, so we aren't the problem. It kind of. I would like a transparent. If everyone was transparent, and you kind of, it could be assessed of what they're doing, and they couldn't get away with any evil. That would have to be across the board. Then it would kind of work. But don't forget who's in power. Not the very nice people. Okay. So that's not going to work out. Because the people who are in power want to stay in power, and they don't want you knowing the dirty, scuzzy things that they do when with their power, right? They don't want you to know that. If they wanted you to know, they could have just told the New York Times, and they would have wrote it up in an article. But they don't do that, do they? No. So even if they do say, "Oh, look, we're going to come out with a chip, and everybody's going to be, so, you know, it's all going to be equal," they're not going to go along with it. The fact is, there is an elite class of people in this country. I'm just going to limit it to this country that think they're different and better in some way, different in some way, and that rules are meant for other people and not them. We're the ones who need to be kept an eye on, and not them, because they're better, and you know, for whatever. Maybe it's just to consolidate power and keep what they got, or whatever. Whatever their rationale is, they think they're different, and they're not going to go along with it. And they're in charge. They would be in charge of the people who would implement it. So they would say, "Okay," to those people, "don't give it to me." All right. So they would get out of it. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to work. It'll just be us little wingdings on the corner. Everybody's going to know what I'm doing, and you know, which is it's not going to help anybody to know what I'm doing. So that's not going to work. And another problem with that is I don't even think celebrities would go along with it, and they're not upper echelon elite. You know, they're not any big deal. The people who run this country are just leaps and bounds more powerful than any celebrity. But these celebrities would never go along with it. They're already fighting for their privacy right now, you know, paparazzi and all that stuff. So then they're not going to go for it. I'm surprised that these, you know, semi-celebrity comedians are even throwing out this idea. You know, they must know it's not going to fly. Anytime you say, why don't we just, when you say, "why don't we just," I'm just thinking you're not putting very much thought into it. Why don't we just? You know? And that's the first words of your idea coming out of your mouth. Why don't we just? You probably didn't think it through. So it would just be the little grubby people like me being surveilled, which we are already being surveilled, but it would just be more extensive, which is what they want anyway. These so-called elite. But why, Jason? Why do they want to know everything that you're doing? Because they know I hate this goddamn government. It's completely corrupt through and through. It doesn't represent me, and I want it to be changed drastically in some manner. And I know that I can't vote these motherfuckers out. And they know that I know that. So where does that leave people like me, right? You know, people who have lost all faith in the electoral system. People like me who have lost all faith in that. Then the elite have to think, well, what's his alternative? And I don't necessarily, there's all kinds of alternatives, and I'm not going to explain them. But whatever they are, they're going to want to keep track of people who have lost all faith in their government, right? Because those are the people that are looking for a way to change the government, change the power system. So they're going to want to surveil you, and they're going to want to know every move you make, every purchase you make. So they're going to want you to not use cash. They're going to want you, they're going to love you shopping online, right? Shopping online, and they're going to love you having the OnStar system and having a cell phone and iPad and all that gear. They're going to love that. But they're going to want to cut off all the all your avenues at privacy. They're going to want to limit that. So that nothing ever comes of your disappointment with your government. They don't want to change. So anybody who feels that they may in the future want to change the government should be sticking up for privacy rights at every turn, and not wanting to lose any privacy rights, because in this case you never know what you're going to get, but you kind of know it's not going to be good on down the line, the way we're going. So, privacy is a big deal. It would be nice, a better way of saying, why don't we have a transparent and open society so that nobody can do anything wrong. A better way of doing that would be just to say, why doesn't everybody just be nice and not do skeevy things behind people's back? You could do it that way. I prefer that way. That way I still have my privacy, even though I wouldn't necessarily need it. It's still there. That's kind of neat. What's wrong with privacy? I don't know. So, the founding fathers, I forget who it was, Jefferson or whoever, they said we should be able to overthrow our government if it gets too weird. But our government's been trucking along pretty good and plucking away at our privacy and our gun rights and all the avenues we have at changing the government. They've been kind of scrubbing those. So if they take those away, then you're just going to get what they give you. Okay? So you better love what they're going to give you, or stick up for your rights now. So it's sad that they throw these little ideas out just off the cuff. I seriously doubt that they want to chip it. They personally want a chip. But along the lines of privacy, there's that racist issue that just popped up there. The basketball team owner that was talking about, telling his girlfriend not to be seen in public with these black guys at the game or something. I don't know what it is. But this is kind of a privacy issue too, because I don't know where he said these things to her, but it may have been, if it was in one of his residences. Did he have a reasonable expectation of privacy? And did she break the law by even recording this? And I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, and he had a black guy on. I forget the guy's name. And he was saying, I agree with him, that it's not necessarily that this guy was racist. He may be racist, but these comments, what they show me is that he's worried about what his racist friends will think. And that's different from just being racist. So now they want him to sell the team or whatever. And his wife is saying, I like this, that's saying that, half his money is my money. So I didn't make these stupid comments. Why are you messing with my money? So she has a good point. I don't see how they can just rip her off because, he's a dumbass anyway for having a girlfriend in the first place, in my opinion. But so she's gonna call him incompetent and take all the money, and she'll be the team owner, and no more girlfriends for him, which is fine with me. I don't care about sports anyways. But it's kind of like the thought police. Those were his. It was his private discussion with his private girlfriend, and it didn't really affect anybody on the team. It's like the thought police, kind of. So I think privacy is good. Don't you think privacy is good? Do you want the government to know everything? I mean, even if you're not a revolutionary, do you really want the government to know everything that you're doing? I don't think so. I don't think you do. We need to give ourselves some outs. And if we lose our privacy in money, in in guns, who owns a gun? If there's a big registry of who owns a gun, whatever we need to get a hold of this crazy government and remove it. Whatever the mechanisms we need to do that are, we need some sort of privacy to operate in order to do those things. Well, unless we can do it all online, like have a big movement online, that would be great. I don't know how that works. So privacy good. Chip bad. Okay? All right. Good day.